Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with occasional review. Today's video is going to be a flip through of my June 2022 setup. I am currently trying out this B6 Slim Chic Sparrow. If you are interested in Chic Sparrow, my thoughts on this leather, what it's called, how it looks, I do have an unboxing video. I will say that I'm not a fan of the company anymore. I've given it a couple of tries. It's just not who I am, and it's cool if it's something you like, no worries. This is not my favorite leather, nor is it my favorite style with these marks on the front. But I thought I would give it a go because I've learned to love and embrace things that I didn't really like mesh with well at the beginning. So I thought I'm gonna give it another go and see how I feel about it. I do love B6 Slim and I like to size down for the summer, which we are currently at the start of. And so I thought, let's give it 1 month. For those of you out there in the planning community, you already know that June is the end of the second quarter of the year and July is the halfway point of the year as well as the third quarter of the year starting. So I thought, well, let's just give it 1 month, and then if I want to plan something different for the next quarter, so be it. So yeah, I'm in this B6 Slim. I'm not hating it so far. I mean, technically it doesn't start till tomorrow, but excuse me, my throat is just, allergies are a thing. It doesn't start till tomorrow, the use of this notebook, but I've been setting it up and carrying it around for a few days, and it's not too heavy, but it is pretty pretty wide. It looks like a brick. It doesn't feel that way. So before I was in a B6 Slim Sojourner, and it's significantly smaller, especially when we're talking about the width here. So I like to use a crossbody purse, and so this fit in there very nicely nice. It's a very slender purse that doesn't open very wide. It will not fit this. I already excuse me, tried, and it was just crazy. It was like me having to struggle to take it in and out. So I might have to change bags. We'll see how that goes. If I don't like this, I might get rid of some of the inserts and move back into this. But for right now, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, so on the inside here, this again is a B6 Slim Traveler's Notebook. We have 4 strings. As you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have inserts on all 4 strings individually, so nothing is piggybacked. We have 1 insert, 2, 3, 4, a dashboard, and then I have a notebook in the back. So, having said that, you see how this is like, it's got like a huge gap here, just because there's so much in here. So I'm also going to talk about that because sometimes I prefer to only have 1 or 2 inserts so that things will be flat enough to write on. I am a writer, so that's important to me because I write in my notebooks for long periods of a time. So yeah, I'll talk more about that in a moment. So anyway, these front pockets here, cascading pockets, I have a little envelope, and all this stuff, the majority of it is from your Creative Studio subscription box. And I just have a bunch of ephemera in here ready for some glue or a tape runner so that I can glue them down in my inserts. I don't like to keep things like this, paper clips, on the actual leather because it will indent the leather, so I just keep them on something like this so I don't have to worry about that, and I have access to them. I won't try to put that back in there. I have 2 stencils. This is the first one. This is a habit tracker. I haven't used it this time around, but I might try it out if the system I have now isn't going to work, but I have used it in the past. I believe I got this on Amazon Japan, and if you look back at my haul videos for the beginning of this year, you will find more information on this. This is a piece of washi tape that I cut out. So it's like a long strip like this, and I just cut an individual bug out that I keep for ephemera. And then I have another stencil. This one is from Hobonichi, and it is the Speech Bubble stencil. I have been using this a lot more in my personal writing, journaling, which I've really enjoyed, but for some reason I never tend to use it in my planning. It's not really a necessity, but since I have them, I try to incorporate them. This is a piece of ephemera, and this is just a piece of cardstock that has foiling on it. I keep it here, again, so that if I have to clip anything, I can clip it to this so I don't mark up my leather. Okay, so now we can get to the string. So on the first string, I have a, what's it called? Standard size. So it's like an inch longer, I guess I should say taller because I cut off the top, an inch taller folder. I just cut it and then I rounded the edges, and I really like the way it came out. I've had this for years now, since I think I first had a B6 Slim. They do make folders in this size, different companies. I think I got mine from Taroko Shop back in the day, and I just wasn't going to get it together to do that. So at some point I had just cut down a standard one that I had from Traveler's Company, and I really like the way it turned out. So on the inside here, I have some things that I was debating on using, and I will probably make this executive decision today since it's the last day of May. So this is just a piece of vellum. And then I have these from Peanuts Planner Co. And what's really great about them is they are digital downloads, so once you pay for them once, you can print them out as many times as you want. So this one is a monthly, and you can see the entire year here. So if you wanted to use kind of like a Gantt chart style, where you were like coloring in each of the squares, or you wanted to use some type of abbreviation, you can. And it has actually 2 years on it. So you could either use it for 2 years in a row, or you can use it for 2 different subjects. So this to track one side and this to track something else. Here we have the full year in squares, and of course we're already on this side. So this is a way to do some forward planning, bullet journal style, without having to draw this out, and you can just keep it in here. It fits nice in the folder, and pull it out anytime. Put it on the desk, which is what I like to do as I'm planning, so I can always have access to this. You can always washi tape it in as a tip-in, but since this is kind of wide, I think it would stick out a little bit, so I just fit it in the folder instead. This is another style that you can buy from Peanuts Planner Co. And I've had these for a while. I just reprinted them out. So this one has, of course, all of the days of the month underneath. So if you wanted to track your weight, which is what I believe I'm going to use this for, or you could track your finances or your travel on here. If you have a significant other and they have certain work dates and travel time off, you could of course keep track of that on here as well. So my first insert is an MD B6 Slim insert. You can buy these on Amazon, I'm sure other places. I'm just going to use this insert as a place for my sticky notes. I don't really enjoy when sticky notes are all over the place, so if I can kind of corral them, that makes me happy. So I have some in here in case I need to take some notes. And usually what I put here might be somebody gives me a suggestion for a book or something, and then I will put that where it goes later. Somebody might give me an email address or a website that I should check out. So that's what I do there. And I want to be better about when people tell me stuff in the comments, instead of saying, oh, somebody, you know, told me in the comments, and then, you know, I can say this person asked me a question retaining to this, and now I can answer it, you know, in a video. Sometimes it's pretty easy, excuse me, to just go ahead and answer in the comments, but sometimes it's just easier to show people, if that makes sense. So sometimes I do mention in a video someone asked, and then I go into it. This, of course, is from Your Creative Studio, and anytime I can have a butterfly, I will. I just have a couple pieces of ephemera in here, pieces of paper that are loose in case I need to hand somebody something. And then I have a paper clip on the back of this folder with another Peanuts Planner Co. I believe these are all Peanuts Planner Co. I have some that are not, but I'm pretty sure These ones all are, and I will put a link down below. So this one, again, you can use as a Gantt chart or just some kind of tracker. You can put more than one thing. If you use a pencil and a ruler, you could just make 2 different lines so that you can track 2 things in the month of January there. And then on the back, you have the bigger tracker sections for the month. So it's just really what you want to do. And I actually printed out a couple of these that you might think, well, these are kind of duplicates, but I wanted one to stay in here, and I think I'm going to put one in my writing, what's it called? in my writing planner, because we are going to be planning for the next quarter of the year next month. So that's why I have those. Then we're moving on to insert 2. So this is going to be my bullet journal. And so I have in here, and I haven't put anything like front to print out. Usually I print out like a cover section for the month, but I haven't gotten that together yet. So I have my standard bullet journal style monthly, and then I've divided it in 2. So appointments on one side and social media on the other. And then this is just going to be an area for just like, you know, my RAM dump, or what people call the monthly task list. Over here I have my weekly review. It says weekly under there. And I just have like an Alistair style method here for some things I want to track. I'm going to be reading The Maid for Mystery Book Club, and then my niece and I are going to be reading The Yellow Brick Wars, and this is the 3rd book in the Dorothy Must Die series, so we're getting back to that. A couple of other things I'm going to put down here are just things I want to focus on for the week as they come up. Then I'm back to my beloved weekly chart. I just feel like I really love this because when I have a blank space, I tend to want to fill it up. And so I've already restarted Duolingo. My niece has started, she's loving it. And we've started to kind of test each other and talk to each other and the few phrases she's already learned in this past week of doing Duolingo. So it's been really fun and enjoyable. So I like that I'm going to be continuing with that. And of course, over here on the side, I just keep track of what I'm reading and how much I read for that day. So like either I will write pages or chapters. If I'm listening to an audiobook, then I put about how much time I listened to for the day. And that's basically it. I did go ahead and number the pages all the way through on the bottom here so that I can refer to anything. I did leave the first page blank for an index, which I might not use. And again, I might just go ahead and put a piece of vellum or some kind of cover page there. We'll see how it goes. Now this 3rd insert, I don't know if I have it anywhere near me. I do. Hold on a moment. Okay, so this is a dashboard by Chic Sparrow, and so the dashboards are actually connected to the top here, and so it's just like a slip pocket. I didn't like that. I really miss the dashboards, sorry about my ring light, from Foxy Fix. So what I went ahead and did was I cut off just this triangle up here so that I could have this open, so that if I needed to put like a piece of paper like this, I think these are a little too wide to fit in here, but I needed it to stick out of the top, it certainly can. So I'm happy with that and how it turned out. So basically what I did, for those who are interested, I did it off camera because I was too nervous and I needed to concentrate. I don't have one with me right now, but let's just pretend that this is a piece of cardboard. It's the same color. I took a piece of cardboard from a box, just a very kind of thin one, and I just pushed it in here kind of like this, and I sliced it down. And then when I was done, I took something that was thinner. I don't have one near me, but you know, like those flyers that you get that are like a cardstock by Old Navy or JCPenney's. I took the flap that was up, put it underneath, put the flap down, and sliced it as close to the top as I possibly could. So I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Now it's open. So if you also like to put like cardstock or design paper in here, that would probably make it easier than trying to, you know, fit it in when this is closed up like that. So I did it to the back as well. As you can see, I have some things in the back there. Now I just stuck, this used to be a card, and I cut it down, and I've kept it over the years, so you've probably seen it in other videos. And I just always put a little bit of tape runner on the back so it's easy to peel off and it doesn't ruin the card. And I just stuck it on here because I love butterflies and I like the way it looks. It's very simple design. I don't have to decorate a bunch. So this is a printable, and I forgot which one it is because they all have odd names, so I'll try to link it down below, but it's from DIYfish, and I used I was out of the I was out of the cardstock I wanted, so I just used watercolor paper that I had, and it's white, and I thought it would be best to use this dashboard to protect it because white, you know, it picks up everything, and I didn't want to deal with that. So this is a B6 Slim insert, and I don't know what B6 Slim means by DIYfish. Is that personal wide? I'm not entirely sure. But when I printed it, you can see at the top here, you can still see all of the cut marks a little bit. I did remember to size up. I think I printed this at like 110 so that it would reach the edge because it is kind of narrow, and it does say B6 Slim on there. So I don't know. Let me know down below if this is actual is there like a B6 Slim rings, because if you look at the inside, there's a pretty wide space because you can also use these for rings as well. I have had people tell me in the past that if you don't want the space, you can ask her to make it just for specifically for a TN, so it doesn't have this space, but this is initially so that you can put holes in this area and not, you know, get into the little square grid here. So that's on the layout. I'm not explaining any of that right. You all know that I'm not a rings person. I've tried to in the past. I think it's cool. I understand it. My brain just doesn't want to do it. So there's that. So in this insert, we have the month of June, and this is going to be a private insert. So this will be the only time that I show this. This is going to be for health and weight, and where I write down what I'm eating. I've mentioned in the past that if you don't want people to comment on your health, especially when you're writing about it, then don't show it. And so that's what I do. I don't show it. Anyway, so every Sunday I'm going to be weighing in, tracking exercise and other things on here. This insert's great because it has another built-in tracker and even bullet journal style calendar here. So I have exercise, water, and stretches. And then I have some key signifiers that I'm going to be using over here. So B will be for biking, W for walking, P for planking, H for heels, and J for jogging. So before I forget, I am also using my Frixion pen, and this is in the Biz version. This is the Frixion Point Knock in a 0.4, and I love this pen. I love the color. It has the marbling. I did an unboxing of this video, and I think I believe there's a link in the description for that video if you are more interested, but I'm gonna put it back. Didn't want to forget it. Of course, over to the side here, you just have another space to put more tasks. So I felt like in this insert, having one page, even though this is smaller for tasks, was gonna be fine, because anything that had to do with exercise, meals, or anything like that could go here. Sometimes you don't get extra pages here, but in this month, the way that it falls, you do. The 1st of June is on a Wednesday. We are already here, so I already wrote what we had yesterday. I don't know what I'm going to put here. Maybe this will just be more meal planning or grocery lists or things like that. Also, I could be putting like how many carbs are in certain foods or calories. Sometimes it's pretty easy for me to get back into it. I just have to write it down to remember and then it's easier. Here is the dailies, and of course I mentioned I'm probably going to be breaking this into 4 sections. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then 1 to 2 snacks a day, if any at all. And of course I try to do intermittent fasting, so that will go on here, and then I might not have breakfast because I might have an eating window that starts at noon. And then this of course continues on with the week, and then the days repeat after. This is just the center. I put washi tape here because I like the color, but also so that the what are they called? staples in here don't rub up against my elastic and fray it. In the back, again, I cut this side open as well. I have just a little photo here, and this is actually ephemera, so it peels off the back and it can become a sticker. And this is another, I believe, from Peanuts Planner Co. that I've yet to fill out. I was thinking about what I wanted to track mostly, and it was time for me to do this. I had one at the beginning of the year, but since we're changing into the summer season and my niece and nephew aren't in school anymore, my schedule changes and the things I need to do monthly, weekly, and daily, at least for them, changes as well. So I'm going to be filling out a new one today. And then on the back, it has a schedule, a time schedule, which I thought would be cool. And now I'm not so sure how I feel about it, because sometimes I like to plan by the half hour, and this only goes by the hour. I'm still probably going to fill it out somewhat, but it makes it a little harder for me to do so. Now we are moving on to the fourth and last insert on the strings. So this is, and if I didn't mention, I said that this one was an MD insert. It's already in B6 slim size. This one was a digital insert that I printed and cut myself. And then this one is actually a Traveler's Company insert in standard size that I cut down, and so is this one. That one was the dot grid, and this one is the square grid. So in here, I believe I'm going to be keeping more like lists of things, so getting things done, that would be lists that probably would go in here, as well as just writing a few notes sometimes that I need to when I make a video, or just, you know, before I talk to a person on a phone call. I might need some bullet points that I don't want to forget. For those of you who are interested on how I did this, I just used ephemera again. Let me see. Ooh, this is from Your Creative Studio. To reach over. So they come in these fun little like flip books, and the front here, these are just very thin paper, and then in the back of this one it's vellum. I just took those and I glued them with what's it called, just the regular stick glue down, and then I used packing tape. So this is one strip of packing tape and then a second one, so that they wouldn't get nicked on the edges and peel off. And that's the same thing that I did here on this. And you saw the setup somewhat of this in my last video. This is a B6 Slim MD. I don't know if it has a specific name anymore, but it's like a calendar, and then it has notes in the back. And I talked about this. So this was me repurposing an old planner. And so this is from 2020. You can see the number possibly down here, but I covered it, so it's under the planter. And I made it for 2022 by renumbering the calendar here, and I really like the way it turned out. So this is just going to be I think my writing on the go. So in the past, I can show you that I use this like a weekly just to write a few notes, and then I fell off of that, and then I decided, oh, this would be great for vocab, and I loved that, and I didn't fall off, but I stopped using it in here because I went to an A5 Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, and I liked that better because I had more space to go ahead and put ephemera and decorate it a little more. But this is still really nice, and I appreciated that. So I'm just going to be keeping notes in here on the go. And then of course in the back you have a Secretarial Pocket. I just have a couple things in here. I just have some washi tape. And then of course this is a passport sized writing board. I didn't have one this size, and I couldn't find my B6 Slim Gimuntacho writing board. It's somewhere. I just couldn't find it. So I have this because it's a little bit sturdier and longer than the stencil here. So if I needed to make lines on the go, I can just use this, and it does go across the page. Not completely long ways, but horizontally it does, just not vertically. So if I, of course here, because these are just, you know, blank pages, you put this in the back, and of course you can see the lines so that you can write straight. So that's also helpful. I do need to make a note to find the B6 Slim writing board. So I did want to talk about this for a moment. So with the Chic Sparrow Traveler's Notebook, you have a built-in pen loop, so you can't tuck it out of the way like the old ones. So it kind of is meant to, like, it'll stick out, but it's meant to, once you have the elastic on, to come on in like this and kind of hug the notebook. I don't want to do that just because in the back here I have this notebook with the tabs, and so it kind of pushes on them and I don't want them to bend in. I mean, it might not be too much of a problem, but I'm not excited about it. So I just take the elastic and put it underneath like that, and I just allow this to stick out, and it's not that serious. That way it doesn't bend up against my tabs. If that's something that becomes an issue for other people, you could certainly put the notebook in the front, in this long pocket here. I don't actually keep anything in here at this point, but it's something I could certainly do, and if it becomes an issue, I might move it that way. The reason why I have it in the back is it's just so easy and very nice to slide out and write on a flat surface with this for a while. If I was taking notes well on my laptop or something like that, on a specific subject, it's just easy to take out and put back in here. All of these are on its own elastic, which makes me happy because it means if I need to write on this notebook for a long period of time in the center, it works well because it's pretty flat. But this first notebook, not so much. There's a weird hump. So a lot of times the way I fix that is I will take something like this and put it underneath, and then I get a flatter surface. Or because it is on its own elastic, I can just go ahead and slide this out. And it's a lot easier to just go ahead and write on a counter like this for a little bit and then put it back in, which makes me happy. That's why I'm so grateful that I don't have things piggybacked together so that it makes it easier and I don't feel like I'm taking the whole system apart, because that would drive me nuts. Also, I am just like, this is lazy planning. If you've been following me for a while, you know that my phone is just going off and no one ever texts me until I sit down to film. So I went ahead and I put together a schedule. This is just in, I wrote it down, Google Sheets. So this is either the time or the scheduling template that's free that anyone can do. And I just went ahead and did some time blocking in half-hour increments because, like I mentioned, this one is kind of cool, but it only goes by the hour. I didn't see one that went by the half hour. So I'm just going to refer to this, and it's so large that even when you fold it in half, it's still wider than B6 Slim and it would stick out. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this up on one of my cork boards to follow. That way I can see it every single day and not have to, and that way I can just know where I'm supposed to be at that time. And of course it's online, and I do have the app for Google Sheets, so I can just look it up digitally anywhere I am if I don't actually physically have this with me, which is nice. So that's another issue about sizing down sometimes these bigger papers that we're used to having in a wide or in a standard size that fit will not in this size. And it is what it is. I'm working around it. So here's to me trying this out for a month. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are down below. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.